Hi everybody, I'm Brian.
And I'm Michelle.
And we are Cruisin with the Colemans, and welcome to Cruisin with the Colemans Season 2. We are so excited to have an entire season in our RV after our first season last summer, traveling across Spain and Portugal, walking the Camino de Santiago.
It's much different.
It is much different this time
There's
around.
a lot more gear.
There's a lot more gear, a lot more stuff, and we're going to show it all to you over the coming months.
And we have Pepe.
We have Pepe. Say hi, Pepe. So this is the start of our hashtag Wild West Vaca. We name all of our vacations because we're just kind of weird that way, mostly me. And this is our Wild West Vaca, and it has turned out to be a little bit more wild than we expected. But we've got a lot of great destinations coming up in the next few months. From Dayton, Ohio, we're heading south through Tennessee and Alabama and across Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas. And then we're heading across the Southwest all the way out to California. And then we'll be doing some travel through the Central West and working our way back home to Dayton in time for school to start.
Yeah, it's going to be much different. Obviously, traveling during COVID is not at all what we expected. But, you know, we kind of went through, do we go, do we not go? And in the end, we really just wanted to go. It's hard because we have to remind ourselves all the time that we, aren't going to see the things that we necessarily plan to see. We're not going to be able to do some of the things we plan to do. But at the same time, at least we're seeing parts of the country that we don't get to see very often. So we're going to head out a little bit earlier than expected, which is exciting.
It is.
We're going to head out a little earlier than expected, and we're going to head for the hills of Tennessee and spend a few weeks in Tennessee. So we're really excited about that.
And hey, by the way, don't forget, YouTube time is not quite real time. So if you want to follow where we are right now, make sure you check us out on Instagram and on Facebook. Like us. Make sure you click the like button on this video and subscribe to get notifications every time we post a new video. We're going to be trying to post every single Sunday throughout the summer and into the fall, keeping our fingers crossed.
I mean, with COVID, we have a little bit more time on our hands.
As long as we've got Wi-Fi and data,
that's the kicker.
We'll be keeping up to date on Sundays. So enjoy Tennessee. Out for a little hike on the Point 19 trail. It's 1.5 miles out and back to another view of the lake, which should be hopefully pretty this afternoon.
This campground is amazing.
One thing to note is that the walk from the campsite to the trailhead was 0.5 mile. So whatever hike you decide to do here at Loyston Point, make sure you include the fact that you might have to do a mile round trip just to get to the trailhead and back.
But if you're somebody who likes longer hikes, this 1.5 miles connects to longer trails. So you can do short, really long, Lakeview, and a little bit more hilly view in the trees. So lots of options.
If you weave in and out of all the trails, there's probably, I guess, about 8 or 9 miles worth of total trails here just in the campground. So the point of hiking the Point 19 trail is to get to Point 19, which is right here.
Ooh, look at the rocks.
So this is Norris Lake, which is supposed to be the cleanest lake in Tennessee. One of the cleanest lakes in the United States. It's two rivers that have a confluence here and then have a dam downriver.
You can see some state parks, I believe.
And we got state parks visible around us. A lot of this is federal land, state land. They told us that there are like 20 or 21 marinas on the lake somewhere. Apparently Mill Creek and Clinch River are in those two directions. I don't know what those are.
It's gorgeous.
Go down there and dip your toes in the water, babe.
I'm good. But
No?
thanks. It is so beautiful here. If I had the right shoes on, I would.
Oh,
What?
I was looking at your shoes.
I don't have the right shoes on.
I do. I'm gonna go dip my toes in the water.
Here, I'll video. Brian's always hiking in those chacos. But I guess it's good for moments like this. How's it feel?
It's pretty cold.
Cold?
Yeah, it's cold.
We've had some cold nights. So not worth taking my tennis shoes off for.
It's not like Lake Erie cold, but it's cold. So we have these Intex portable kayaks that we absolutely love. These are not sponsored. We paid full price for them. And we just want to show you how easy they are to set up so that we can get out on the water tomorrow morning. Everybody, we are on our second hike here at Loyston Point Campground. This campground is part of the TVA, which is the Tennessee Valley Authority, but it's managed by a private concessionaire called Resource Management. They have like 110 campgrounds around the country, I think is what the park manager told us. Several here in Tennessee. And it's a really nice campground. I'll show you more of that later. But the trail we're on today is called the Loyston Loop Trail. It's about a 5.5 mile trail, single track, dirt, as you can see here. A little bit of gravel, some dirt. It's gonna have some lake views, so it should be really pretty. We're in the forest part of it right now. And uh-oh, we've come to a fork in the trail. there's a sign. That should be the
Oh,
second Mill
one.
Creek.
Yep.
Okay.
The signage is really good.
They do have really good signage, as you can see right there. So these are at all the intersections. We found those. And they have a pretty good map. It's actually a topo map. It's a trail map that they gave us at the campground office. So that's nice. All the trails here in the park pretty much are shared trails. So this trail is designated for hikers and for mountain bikers. So as you can see, we have come across a couple of mountain bikers here already. It's a narrow trail, it's just single track, so you have to step off. Now the trail we were on yesterday was pretty wide. It was mostly like access road that is now used as trail. So that one, there was plenty of space for hikers and bikers to share the trail. Here, we kind of have to step off, which is not a big deal. So we'll show you some views of the Loyston Loop Trail. Happy hiking. Owl just flew over our heads, about scared the crap out of us. And I'd love for him to fly some more. I don't know if that's gonna happen. We are 4 miles into this hike, and we're going to give you a quick trail review here. So 2 thumbs up for sure. So Michelle here at Loyston Point Campground area, 1 to 5 stars, trails in general.
There's not a lot of them, but if you're just coming here for like a long weekend, there's plenty to keep you busy. So for that regard, if we're considering a long weekend, I'd give it 5 stars.
All right, trail condition.
5 stars. Haven't seen any issues.
I would agree, 5 stars. We haven't come across a single downed tree across the trail. The trails are really smooth, as in there are really very few trip hazards like rocks and stumps and things. So for that, it's really great. Trail difficulty.
I would say it's about average. Maybe give it not too difficult 2 or 3.
Yeah, I would say, well, I don't know which direction we're going on that one.
I don't either.
I would say the trails here are easy to easy moderate. They're hilly.
It's Tennessee.
Yeah, it's Tennessee. There are some hills, but there are no extreme steep hills. The hills that there are either nice gradual grades and nothing really steep. So I would say easy to easily moderate. Definitely nothing on what we've been on in the difficult range.
Now, if you're doing this for like vistas or anything like that, you don't have vistas, but you do have some lake view.
Yeah.
So there is some view.
Certainly no stunning views. It's pretty. And as you can see behind us, the forest is beautiful. So if you're looking for forest, then this is your trail and it's beautiful. We've seen a little bit of wildlife, lots of butterflies, some centipedes and things like that. We saw the owl, lots of chipmunks, birds we've heard a lot of.
Lots of pretty flowers. I mean, this is definitely got some good spring flowers.
Yeah, we're kind of in the beginning of wildflower season, so we've seen some good wildflowers. I would say you would always have a good shot at seeing deer and other animals like that, although we haven't seen any.
What's nice about this is you can come here and you can go camping. You can rent pontoon boats.
Whoa.
If you have kayaks, you can kayak and hike. So like for us, that's what we're always looking for. If we can camp, kayak, and hike, it is a perfect campground.
Yeah, I would agree. Great campground. Definitely 2 thumbs up, and I'd say overall 5 stars.
Okay.
So here's the entrance to the park from the inside. There is a little camp store. It's got some basic groceries, just like most camp stores, some other supplies and materials. And as you come in, the road splits a couple of times. There are loops, but this road is no outlet because the water's high on the lake. So you can get to your campsites from it or go around to the other side if you get to the lake side. And there's also one ADA campsite, but this is really pretty typical for all the sites. They're all pretty good sized, but they're gravel, where this one is asphalt. And this one's super close to that small bathhouse. This is the small bathhouse. Has 1 shower for men, 1 shower for women. So this loop is the non-Lakeview loop.
It starts with size 16.
Starts with site 16 and goes around. The other loop is really all lake views, although some of them are a little bit obstructed because of either trees or of course because of other campsites.
This is really nice because the trees are smaller and you get that kind of feeling of privacy. You're not on top of each other like at private campgrounds. So I think it's really nice if you're looking for that seclusion. And if you're towing your boat, you can see straight ahead, there's a boat there, but there's also some places to put your boat up near the big bathhouse. And so you see jet skis and boats.
Well, and people just parking their trailers because they've got their boats in the water.
There's another boat. So sites are big enough for a trailer and a boat.
And apparently that's okay. Yeah, the campsites are pretty large.
We have learned the rules are a bit different for people who are long-term versus people who are short-term. So you have to be mindful of that.
Yeah, several of the sites on this loop are long-term people. The park has a 21-day rule, but for some reason, some of these sites are marked out as being people who are seasonal. So I'm not sure what the policies are about that. We didn't really look into it because it doesn't apply to us. But you could be here, you could possibly be here all season. So we're not quite sure whether this is a permanent problem or a temporary problem. It seems like this, the lake is not necessarily high right now. It is up a couple inches because of the rain today, but overall, it seems like this is a more consistent problem than just a weekend rainstorm.
This is the entrance to the cabins, walking entrance. There's a drive-in entrance. But there are cabins. There are 3 cabins back there, and they have their own porta potty.
No bathrooms, and we don't think the cabins have any plumbing at all because it doesn't look like there's any water hookups going into them.
They have a beautiful lake view and lake access, and there is a porta potty, so I mean it is at least something for you.
But man, you definitely get lake access. So we're on the other side of the closed loop now, going into the Lakeview Loop.
So some of them that are off to the right have a little bit of woods, but they're closer to the lake.
And also this area is much more exposed to the sun. So if the temperatures are super hot, you're gonna get full sun over here on this loop. So this is the bigger bathhouse. This has 2 bathrooms that are just open bathrooms. And it also has 4 private bathrooms that have a toilet, sink, and shower in them that are all unisex.
They're very clean. It's really nice.
The whole place is super clean. Now part of that's because of the COVID situation. So they're doing extra cleaning, but I suspect that it's going to remain like this because the campground manager said we probably should have been keeping it all this clean all along. So I think they probably will continue doing that. Now right up here now, next to the big bathhouse is that area we were talking about where you can park your boat trailer. So this is...
That's about your only amenity. There is this game of horseshoe right here in front that's probably been here since the beginning of time. It's the only amenity, but honestly, you don't come here to play horseshoe, you come here for this lake.
And there's CC, our campsite, which is number...
we're number 51.
So campsite 51 is really nice.
It's one of those things where if you can't be directly in the water, we're across the street from the water, and we can easily get our kayaks in, which is nice. Site 13, which Brian will put in the video, was our favorite site, and I think still is, as we've been around this campground a lot. We love that it's right there on the water and it's shaded, and but 51 is got nice views and it's real close to the bathhouse.
On this loop, all the sites are pretty much pull-throughs, so that's really convenient too. Now, all the sites are listed as electric and water. However, not all of the sites actually have direct access to water. So one of the things that we've seen a lot here is you'll see this water spigot has a hose going across the grass and under the road and then leading over to this campsite. So many of the sites do have kind of remote water access. Now there's a Y split on the end of that hose so that both of these two campsites, which are 43 and 44, both of these campsites could put a hose up to it to go to their RV. And at our campsite, we have a post directly at our campsite, but it has a 4-way splitter on it and it feeds 4 campsites, including our own. So because of that, the water pressure is not fantastic. We've got about a 40-pound pressure right now. Over the weekend, when we actually had 4 campsites using our water, it was typically a little bit lower, especially if we were trying to use water in our RV at the exact same time somebody else was trying to use water in their RV. So that is a concern, but certainly not that crucial of a problem. You can see here at our campsite, so as I said, it's a pull through, and there are all these little loop pull throughs. Some of them have quite a hill just to get in and out, and maybe even a little bit of a steep turn. So if you're a rig much longer than 30 feet, you could have a problem getting in and out of some of these campgrounds. However, we do have 2 Class A's here right now across the street from us. So they managed it just fine. Pretty much all of the campsites have a picnic table and a fire pit. And there you can see at that next campsite over kind of the situation for the pull-in. The ones on this side of the road up from the water are a little more level. The ones on the water side of the road, some of them are really have a steep drop off from the road down into the campsite. By the way, the day use area does also have a little beach area swimming hole. It was currently closed, but they plan to open it up on June 1st, so I'm sure it'll be open for the rest of the summer also. So there's another great amenity in this park.